Good morning. Today we're at the Church of St Mary Magdalene's in Stockland, Bristol. The church was built in 1865, replacing an older church on the same site, and was designed by Arthur of Plymouth for the Daniel family of Stockmore Manor. The church was paid for by the Daniel family. The church is built of blue lias rubble stone. We have the fonts just as you walk in the door. The fonts and chancel screen are from the original church and were preserved in this new church. The ticking you can hear is a clock, church clock. It's no coincidence that Stockland has the name Bristol. In earlier times, the village was owned by Gaunt's Hospital in Bristol, which is thought to have been founded by Maurice and Robert de Gaunt early in the 13th century. This clock and chimes, were the gift of the Reverend H.A. Daniel, Easter 1905. In those days, the village was called Stokeland Gaunts, but in 1534, the hospital was surrendered into the hands of the king. And in 1541, by letters patent granted by Henry VIII, ownership of the village was passed to the mayor of Bristol, and the present name, Stockland Bristol, gradually adopted. Like a cart they used to bring the bodies to the church and take them away after. There are 5 bells, only one which dated 1827, predates the rebuilding of the church. Here we have Henry Thomas Daniel, DLJP, patron of the living of Stockland, who worshipped regularly in this church. He's born 24th of January 1859 and he died the 3rd of Jan 1952. Also Augusta Laura Clark, born the 7th of January 1866 and died the 8th of July 1962. Bit of gold looking paint on these still. Just climb in here a second. At the top we have William Hayes, by the looks of it. He's a vicar of his parish. He died June 1766, aged 18 by the looks of it. And we have here life of body. Susanna, I think it is, wife of John Everard, daughter of Hugh Luttrell of Carhampton, gent who was buried 9th of May 1678 by the looks of it. Also, life of body of a bone named John Everard of Spaxton, who departed from this life aged 13 years in 1696. This is Reverend Noblet Ruddock, for 37 years, vicar of this parish and of Westbury, Cumpredy. Also in this county, he died the 27th of April 1851, aged 74, and his mortal remains are deposited in the churchyard near this place. Also in memory of Anne, relic of the above, who departed this life 11th of December 1853 in the 72nd year of age. Look at the damage here. It's a real shame, isn't it? Here we have another one tucked away behind Jordan. We have here life of body of Robert Everard, gent of Spaxton, who deceased the 27th of May 1663. In the early part of the Second World War, Stockland Bristol was chosen by the Radio Security Service, RSS, as the new site for two wireless directing finding DF stations known as Y stations. They were located in fields alongside Sturt Road. These installations would have been used to locate the source of enemy radio transmissions. They were demolished after 1945. It must be difficult here for the vicar to run a church service with all the noise from the crows in the background. More damage. It's a real shame. I wonder what this was used for. If you know, please drop a line in the comment box. Let's have a look from up here. All the oak carving. Looks really old. You can see where I had goat paint at one time. Here's all the soldiers from the First World War. You can freeze out and read it yourself, or I'll put some photographs on later on. Same with this one. Right, let's go outside and take a look around. As you can hear by the birds, we're back outside the church. Here we have a William Bagg, died 1902, aged 56. Morning. Morning. They don't look very happy, they both got a face like stone. Elizabeth Everard, died the 14th of Feb 1895, aged 79. We've got Joan Whitehouse of Woodstone, she died 1957. And we've got Edith Ann House, she died 9th of October 1976. Here we have a Angus Dimes, she passed away 2nd Jan 1957. Also her husband Arthur, he died 1965 I think it is, aged 79. Jane Burton, died 1873, aged 76. Just about to make out the sea in the distance. Here we have Elizabeth, the beloved wife of William Lot of Sturt Bay, who died 1887, aged 66. Alexander Pierce, died the 2nd of June 1969, aged 87. road steps leading to underneath the church. Maybe a crypt down there or something else. Kate Ivy Irene, beloved daughter of James and Kate Grovett of Manor Farm, Sturt. She died 1949, aged 46. Also Kate Grovett again. She died January 1960. Here we have a Constance Riddler, only child of John and Marie Riddler, who was born in Australia and died in 1932, aged 65, at Torquay. And we have William Hawkins, who died 1860, aged 90. And his beloved wife, she died March 1876, aged 75. Also Christopher, their son, who died at Burnback, Queensland, August 24th, 1877, aged 36 years. And of Sarah, their daughter, who died September 28th, 1891, aged 62 years. John Constance, beloved wife of Henry Thomas Daniel, died 22nd February 1942, aged 74. Then we got Henry Daniel, he died 1859, aged 31. Henry Daniel, vicar of this parish, died 1883. Sorry, he's vicar of this parish between 1857 and 1883, and he died 1912, aged 84. Also Laura, his wife, she died 1921, aged 94. They're really old graves, and some of them's really difficult to read. We've got Margaret Elizabeth, youngest daughter of Richard Little Cooper. She died 1873, aged, I think it's 26. Wyndham's Range. Born and died October 1892. We've got Philip Boyd, Judge, Barrister of Gray's Inn, 13th of Jan 1946 to 9th of November 2019. See if I can read this one. Charles Sayer. He died 1895, aged 54. John Sayer. He died 1869, aged 62. Got Frances Emily Lovell. She died 1947, aged 82. Also William Charles, son of the above. He died 1945, aged 61. He's interred at the Grove Park Cemetery, London. Also Alice, daughter of the above, who died 1927, aged 42. Here we have a Arthur Radford Skull, died 1956, aged 82. Also Gertrude, his wife, she died 1961, aged 82. Then we got Abraham Coase. He died 1825, aged 81. Also Sarah's wife, she died 1830, aged 90. Thomas Powell. He came from the parish of Otterhampton. He died at 1785, aged 70 years. Sarah, she died 1799, I think that is, aged 74 years. Mary Powell, she died July 1796, aged I can't make out her age. It's also I think this is her son, Thomas Powell. He died 1815, aged 65, I think it is. This tree was planted in commemoration of the Silver Jubilee, 1952 to 1977. We have a Mary Pollard. She died 1871, aged 81. I can't read this one. That's all the newer graves over there. Nice place to sit in the summer. There's the culprit who's making all the noise. Thomas Randall. He died 1852, aged 75. Elizabeth Randall. She died 1854, aged 71. We have Elizabeth Cox. She died 1860. Can't make out her age. Also William Cox. He died 1865, aged 76. We have a Clement Coes and Phoebe Coe, who died whilst in their, who died at Warwick in 18 something, leaving 7 children, by whom this tomb was erected in 1895. This is another, can't make out the first name, another Coes. They died aged 80. Can't make out again when they died. No, can't read that, too faded. We have a Charles Stone. He died 1935, aged 86. And we have Elizabeth, his wife. She died 1914, aged 64. We have Ada Gertrude, only and dearly loved daughter of Charles and Sarah Duckenham. She passed away in 1909, aged 30. I can't read the first part, but we have a Sarah Durham. She died 1941, aged 93. Here we have a Graham Duckham. He died 1987. Peggy Duckham, his wife, she died 2004. Geoffrey Duckham died in 1970. His wife, Joyce, she died 2008. And Charles Duckham, he died in 1959. And his wife, Mary, she died in 1971. I hope you enjoyed this video from Mary Magdalene's Church in Stockland, Bristol. A little bit noisy around here today, but that's country life, I suppose. If you did enjoy this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's totally free. And tell your friends about it, please. Right, that's it then. I'm going back in the town now where it's quieter. See you all next week. Bye for now.